Good evening, everyone, and welcome to GrayManPrepping. Oh man, I'm confused. The grandsons are here, so I'm a little confused here. It's time for Tactical Tuesday, and tonight's topic is smells that can cause trouble in disasters. SHTF, Tawaki. So that's what we're talking about tonight. And let's see who all is here. Let me grab the here and go through it. Okay, so first one in was Phelan Clan Wolf, followed by Mark here, then Walt Rogers, then CB at Hugo Homestead. Utah Mike came in asking hygiene, and then Joseph Moore's in here, Suzanne Gallet is here, and Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight, and make sure I don't miss anybody. Everybody's talking, so I'm actually okay. All right, no fair cheating there, Phelan.
That's just my picture talking.
Yeah. WV Mo 77.
Oh, that's Orlando. What's up, Mo?
Okay, and Aiden Ear is here from across the pond. All right, so everybody thinks they know what tonight's topic is about. You do a little bit. Uh-oh, Gil's going off the rails again. Yeah.
Whatever the topic's about, I'm sure it stinks.
That too. Kaylin's here. All righty. So, all right, good. My daughter took the grandkids out. I can relax on that front now. Don't have to worry about one of them screaming because the other one poked him. I touched you. I touched you. Although they did help me make a nice video that will be out tomorrow around 10-ish or so Eastern time. I already got it scheduled. Alrighty, so smells here. They can get you in trouble in disasters, SHTF, Tawaki. And, it doesn't have to be SHTF or Tawaki to get you into trouble. It could be just a regular disaster that's going on that, like an earthquake's hit and things are just, kind of in a bad way for a day or two or three. Or a hurricane like there in Katrina. Now, Katrina was not at SHTF because the government wasn't shut down. So it was a life-altering event for a lot of people. And there were people out there that were out there without food and water for, like 2 weeks, some of them. So, all righty. So let's take a look at some of the stuff here I was thinking about. So the first thing everybody thinks about is food. Food. I smell somebody cooking. That's the first thing I'm going to smell. Well, yeah, it probably is going to be one of the first things you smell because someone's going to immediately start cooking, thinking everybody else is going to be cooking, so no one's going to notice them cooking. And they're probably right. If the area is not flooded out and nobody's able to cook. You got to think about it. What is the event going on that's so bad that smells are going to get you in trouble? But if you smell everybody else cooking, then you go ahead and fire up your grill too, because that means there's a lot of odors out there and nobody's coming looking for yours. And cook the smelliest stuff too when everybody else is cooking, because everybody knows everybody's cooking, so nobody's really that starving yet, and so they're not going to go after the most smelly stuff. Hey, Brenda's in the house, Duncan 1900 Homestead.
Make sure you leave a little piece of steak on a grill when you're done eating so it burns and it smells like burned food and nobody will come.
Yeah. The other type of smell, which nobody thinks about much, is until they're actually in the situation and they smell it, is the stinky stuff. And because if the sewers are backing up, whether it's from an earthquake severing the sewer lines and they're blocked, whether the power's out and the pumping stations aren't pumping sewer and everything's backing up the lines, you can start having those type of smells. And if it's a long-term situation, and you've realized, hey, I can't use my toilets in the house anymore because it's going to flood my house and it's going to back up into the bathtub and the shower, people are going to start going outside, which is another smell that can get you in trouble, because if the marauders are wandering around in 2-3 weeks and they go by a house and there's absolutely no odors there, nobody's here. They flood the scene and nobody's here. They go by the next house and somebody's crapping in the backyard. There's people here. That means they got food because they're crapping in the backyard.
That depends on the intelligence of the marauders.
Don't dumb down marauders. The ones that are actually marauding are well organized. They're usually from a gang or something. They're smarter than your average
homeowner.
What's the latest? You got Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whatever they were trying to call themselves. But the latest group that's trying to blame, Gen Z, blah, blah, blah. I've seen all these videos. Just absolutely hilarious the way how stupid these people are. But you're not going to be out there wandering around doing stupid stuff, and the marauders are going out there with a plan. Trust me, marauders are going to have a plan. And Sumi's in the house. Oh, interesting. Her son came home. Or I guess when she was working in a flooded building, so the flooded building was picking up that had bacteria and other, mold and stuff smells, and so I can see that. All right, so let's get on to some questions here. Actually, first, the fact: odors, good or bad, travel. The breeze picks them up and they travel. Devil Dog Pepper's in the house. And she stunk so bad she immediately jumped in the shower. Yeah, working in stuff where bacteria is growing, it gets nasty. I said odors,
clothes and all.
Yeah, good or bad, odors travel. And so there are a couple novels series I read and stuff, and just about all of them pick up and put out good points about cooking when you're traveling in a Tawaki situation, trying to get back home from 300 miles away. I know those seem to make the best stories. People are trapped 300 miles away from the home and they got to get home. And, how odors give them away, how other people's odors give them away to the main characters. They're like, all right, everybody pack up. We need to get out of here. Somebody up the road here has a campfire going. Everybody's going to be coming to the area, so we need to get out of here. Prepper for the ages. Welcome. Lee at Cold War Preppers in the house.
Lee.
All right, so let's talk about some. We're going to try to delve in a little bit to here a little bit. And hopefully you guys all fire stuff at me here. If you have a really important one, please make it in capital block letters. All right, odors that travel the furthest. So what do you think are the odors that travel the furthest, people? What odor is going to travel the furthest to let people know about you?
Onions. Fried onions. Bacon. Oh, wait, I am bacon. I'm talking. Look, I'm glowing.
Okay. No, it's not steak. Sumi came in with Lee right behind her with smoke. Yeah, wood smoke is a particle, carbon particles. And they will not dissipate as much as vapors will from cooked foods. Cooked food vapors will dissipate quicker than smoke particles will. Farts.
Depends on what you eat for dinner.
Yeah, depends what you've eaten and what you're farting. So, yeah. So smoke, when you build, if you're building a wood fire to cook on, the smoke particles are going to travel the furthest. That's why a lot of people have planned for, and some of the experts, unfortunately, most of the experts I have known when I was growing up have since passed away. But they would always try to have the fuel tabs, the high elevation, pump it up white gas multi-fuel cook stoves, and even the propane stoves for a while, to get them point A to point B, so they're not exposing themselves by the smell of a dinner fire going, a cook fire going. So think about it. You just, this, you may need to change some of your plants and stuff. Is for, all right, what do I? And I froze. How am I going to cook without drawing people into me? Because some odors go farther, and that's the thing is, you may know everybody in your neighborhood, and everybody's cool. Everybody. It's like here, just about I would say 80% of the people here in town have at least a year's supply of food, at least. There are a couple other ones that don't, but some of those are moving out. Thank goodness. But it's one of those things is, those that don't know that if they try stealing, they're dead. So they're going to try to work for food. Why they don't work and put in extra food now instead of doing all the beer and tobacco and other stuff they smoke? I don't know. But the one of the things to start planning out is way to cook without the heat source producing odors. And of course, then there's MREs. And I was waiting for Kaylin to talk about the MRE meal heater, since Kaylin does so many MRE reviews, and so yeah.
I don't review.
I know why she's not saying anything, because she has all. Because when she does her MRE reviews, she usually doesn't use that little heater to heat up her MREs. She's saving those for disaster time.
I gotta find those. Does she have them on her page? Can you buy just the heaters? Because obviously,
you can buy just MREs. The heaters on Amazon. You can buy just the heaters on Amazon, as well as several MRE sites.
I have to look into that.
Yeah. All righty. So let's look at the next one here. So odors that are the easiest to track, and I got 4 or 5 of them in the top of my head. But what are the odors that are easiest to track?
Got to be smoke again.
Well, smoke is one for tracking from farther away. And of course, you can always tell it gets stronger the closer you get, but depending on it, sometimes it gets too strong and you can lose it getting close to it. Okay, I'm waiting for comments to come in here to see what's going on. But there are about 5 I got off the top of my head that I've tracked at scout camp, trying to find out where some of the scouts that were taking the special food they brought from home and sneaking off into the woods to cook a meal, and we've got to tell them, there's no cooking out here. We're under fire warning.
That's got to be food, obviously. So
okay. All right, so Howie's in the house. All right, so Howie said coffee. Lee said perfume. Yes, but both of them do. Both are close range ones. Kaylin said liquid accelerants at close range. Yeah. Sewer odor. Yeah, sewer odor can is kind of a directional one. Doesn't change anything. Gasoline. So all right, so smoke gives you from a distance will line you up pretty good.
Got to be fat foods with fats in them that you're cooking, because the fats are particles too.
Yes.
Bacon, burger, steaks, pork chop.
Bacon probably is one of the biggest ones that travels. Fish. Frying fish.
Flying fish?
Frying. Fried rice.
Frying fish. I see
Yeah.
frying fish everywhere. They jump up. They jump in my boat.
because again, oil. It's cooked in oil, and it has its own natural fish oil. You may put a little oil in the pan, but the fish have oil as you start heating them. It comes out of it. So that smell travels too, and it's very easy to track. And that's one of the ones that's like bacon. Okay, I know what that smell is. Food. When fish is cooking, it's like you're like ooh, someone's doing fish, and your natural senses zoom in on it. Tammy's in the house. Tammy's in the house. Rebel Canners is here.
Yeah, Higgy Homestead said popcorn. Yeah, you can smell popcorn. One person in the office cooks it. You can smell it on the other side of the building.
Yeah. However, in general disaster situations, unless they got a Jiffy Pop popcorn thing to put over a fire, not too many people are going to be cooking popcorn right off the bat for the first several weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate everybody else starving to death. Let's have popcorn.
Let's draw them in.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's a bag of popcorn. That's got about 9 calories in it. No butter, no salt. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Just had a brain fart on one of the you used to track.
You had a brain
Anyways,
fart.
But yeah, barbecue sauce. When you're cooking something, you're putting barbecue sauce on it while it's cooking to get that flavor into the meat and get it all in there and stuff. You know, like the marinades. Oh, that stuff travels too. And that's like, okay, yeah, I'm zooming in on it.
Oh, the sugar burns and gases up and travels with the wind. And
there's one. Cigarette smoke. Cigarette smoke can be tracked 2 ways. 1, the odor. 2, when you get closer and it's like, oh, I see what's the smoke? Cigarette smoke coming up over there. There's someone on the other side of that building, or a little garden shed, or there's someone on this side of the creek there or something. Okay, so let's move on here to a little bit others here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I used to track that down a lot when I worked at the sheriff's department.
What? Cigarette smoke?
No.
Oh, weed smoke.
Weed smoke. Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, I think they're partying out back with smoking Mary Jane out there.
Yeah, right behind the police department. They'll never see us here.
So which odors bring trouble? Now this is going to be a multifaceted thing here. So so what odors bring trouble? Let's see who throws the obvious one out there first.
I would just generally say any odor that is not naturally occurring in nature. You smell something that's not natural that some human had to make, yeah, you're going to go for it if you're looking for something.
Yeah. Poached fish. Yeah, fish is going to fish. Yeah, some of the we already talked about some of the things. The sense that the odors that ring true to a person's mind for food.
I can think of something that I smell occasionally while driving up the highway in the dead of summer. Yeah. In highly deer populated areas where the deer didn't make it.
Yeah. So food and cooking it's going to bring trouble. Smoke is going to bring trouble. Gasoline and diesel will bring trouble after a couple weeks.
How about a foul stench?
If they smell, oh, someone's got gasoline. I need more gasoline for my generator. So those type of things in a disaster situation, or SHTF or Tawaki, where it's like people are going hungry, generators are dying, and someone smells gasoline or diesel, they're going to go, "Ooh, okay, and you're going to bring in people who are desperate to save their food because they don't want to be starving like they know their neighbors are, because they want their little ultra quiet inverter generator, which is super quiet. You can't hardly hear it on the other side of the house, that they got inside a little garden shed box out back, so you can't even hear it and standing outside in the backyard. They're going to want to keep their stuff going. Yeah.
Yeah, fresh asphalt. I'm like hot tar in the summertime.
Burn your coffee grounds and bacon grease, hide in your ghillie suit with eyes on the fire, and see who comes calling.
I thought about that, but I wasn't going to say it.
Howie's planning on taking...
He's taking them with him.
No. Howie is laying out the recipe here for the best defense is a strong offense.
Yeah, and that's how you get extra supplies. They bring it to you.
Yeah. Or as the fat electrician would say, if you're not cheating, you're not fighting right. Oh, I think that's the last. So I can spend more time on that. Okay, other odors besides food, besides gasoline, diesel, kerosene, things that that will trigger people's minds of Aussie life. Welcome. As far as people triggering the things of, oh, that means there's supplies over there I need. Well, the different type of trouble that odors can bring, disease. So what type of odors would bring disease?
I can say it, but I'll wait for somebody else. Bug repellents. I don't think they bring disease, but maybe long-term cancers.
Yeah. Think about what odors bring diseases, and I'm not talking two-legged diseases.
Rotting animals,
rotting people.
Ew. I don't think I ever want to smell that.
Manure, decay.
But if you got rotting bodies somewhere, chances are good.
Oh, Lori. Ow.
Bury your
kidney stones. Ow. Everybody, remember to give Lori some prayers, man. Kidney stones stuck. Stink, stuck, whatever. They suck. Exactly, Aussie life. You got to take care of your stuff. And that's, people don't understand sanitation. They go, oh, I got garbage bags. I'll just, I got a 5-gallon bucket. I'll poop in there, tie it up, and set that out and back. Well, hey, the garbage bags break down fairly quickly in sunlight. They're not meant to spend weeks out there. They start falling apart.
So you need a couple bags of lime laying around so you can sprinkle lime on it to keep the odor down.
Yeah. And something else along the same lines, I just correlated. Not only will your poop bring stuff in, and of course, who said manure up there before? Was that Kaylin?
Yes.
Prepper 101's in the house. He goes, my mother-in-law.
Sumi said manure for the
yes.
possibility of a living food source.
Yeah. Manure, horse manure, cow manure, chicken manure.
That's a good smell for you.
Oh, yeah. And if anybody knows chicken manure, they'll know that one.
That's where you put it in the mulch pile, cover it up, and you can use it for, amending your soil the next year, but not when it's hot.
Yeah. Fortunately, a food source you can have that's not going to put out odors, so long as you take care of the pile right. Rabbits.
Okay.
You know, the only time rabbit manure starts to stink is when you leave it there and it starts to mound up and the pee starts getting in there and then it starts cooking. But as long as you keep spreading the rabbit poo out immediately or doing something with it, it doesn't do it. So when it comes to sanitation for your human poo, a trench line. And not a shallow trench line. I know in Boy Scouts we were taught to do a shallow trench line. That way it breaks down and stuff. And by the next year or a couple weeks later, so the next troop comes in, it's all broken down and stuff. You know, it's like you go ahead and dig it down a bit. You know, like a 1 foot deep trench line or deeper. And as you use it, dirt in on top of it, and you just keep going across that way.
Until the next year, the other troop digs it up. It's like, there's toilet paper still in here.
Yeah. Well, generally, when troops are doing that, they're out on the hike. So, and they hiked out to a spot, found a spot, and generally that doesn't get hit for 2 years in a row. Generally,
yeah, dig a hole.
And usually they don't dig in the same spot either, which is amazing.
Just put a little cross on top of it when you're done. Nobody will touch it for a while. Like, I'm not digging up the bottom. What is in there? It's a cross. Could be an animal. Could be something. I'm not digging. If they do dig it up, you get what you deserve at that point.
Yeah. So there are odors. Odors, are something you got to watch for in disasters and in, long-term thing, SHTF and Tawaki. It's one of those things that people don't like to. They think, okay, so,
they don't want to think about it because
they don't want to think about it. They think about it for short term. All right, I got the stuff. I got some garbage, the little garbage bags. I got the heavy duty bags that come for the 5-gallon toilet pooper. Come with the seat with the decomposer stuff in it. They don't think about getting that decomposer stuff you can get to sprinkle on the poo as you poo. You sprinkle on it and you bury it, and it starts breaking down quickly.
Now there is a use for a 5-gallon bucket of human waste.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a offensive defense.
Well, keep it covered up in an area and put a pickle label on it, so when somebody gets close, if it gets hit by something with a not a solid point and goes poof, it covers them with poo.
Yeah. Okay. Friends Bug Out Camp has a latrine that was dug 4 feet deep, 5 feet deep, something after each camp. Yeah. That's something that helps break it down too. Now, let's shift gears a little bit here. Go back to a cooking fire. What a properly done I don't want to just name it right off the bat. A properly done system for doing a fire. If you do it right to begin with, you're not going to have hardly any smoke. And if you keep it fed right, you're not going to have any smoke.
There's two things, but both have the same. Both use the same physics behind it.
Yeah. If you accidentally grab what you think is some dry, dead branches, and they're just felled branches that are still green in it, you're going to start putting off some smoke. So you got to make sure the type of wood you're going to. The thing that's coming to mind. All right, there it is. There it is. Boom. The Dakota hole.
Dakota fire pit.
Yep. Yes. Or Dakota fire pit, Dakota hole. Yeah. Dakota fire hoe.
A rocket stove, which is basically a Dakota fire. A rocket stove is a horizontal Dakota fire pit.
It's built up, and rather than having a thing. Yeah. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. Yeah, there are some really good videos out there on how to do it, that just reminds me. There's a channel we used to follow. Kayla and I used to follow years ago, a couple years ago. A young man, he should be 17, 18 now, that was doing stuff. And I got to see if I'm still subscribed to him, because I haven't seen videos from him for about 9 months. Yeah, thank you, platform, for unsubscribing me to good channels.
Just go to YouTube and put in Dakota Fire Pit or Dakota Fire Hole or Dakota Fire. Yeah. There's a million videos on it. The basics never change.
Yeah. Well, some of them are good. Some of them are really good, and some of them are like, what the heck are you doing? Yeah, Dakota Fire Pit, Dakota Fire Hole. Basically, you're digging holes, connecting. You build your fire, and you get a small fire going hot. You keep feeding it from the other side, and it drafts through, and you cook over the one here. So as everything, all of the smoke is burnt by the time it gets out. That's the thing behind it.
Just got to watch what kind of ground you're doing it on. Sand will collapse. Really thick humus in the in woodland forest will actually give you a ground fire. You don't want that.
Yeah. If you're a 3-part mulch hole. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the hang on a second here.
Cold War prepper says, like, yep, military, everybody poops in buckets. They put it in a big barrel, dump diesel on top of it, and burn it.
Yeah.
That odor, yeah, that's an odor. You got diesel and poop burning at the same time.
Dakota Fire Hole. Boom. All right, so I'm going to show it to you here. So basically, you have your vertical hole, and you have your angle hole coming in. You want to have the wind going from the angled hole to the heat hole. And actually, what this isn't showing is, and some of the other ones do, you build something up, the dirt you pile up between it, so it comes on, catches it, and forces it down. Here's a good drawing where you got, the rocks and stuff, but you don't have rocks there, but you have something to. There are some. Go to images here. Bring up more of them on it here. Here we go. This really, it's bigger on the thing that it is over here on this. This one here I like because it really does it. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and save image, and I'll put it to. It's a web file. Can't do it. Hang it.
Right click, copy photo.
Yeah, copy and go back to this thing here. Go to the empty one, paste it there, and make it big. There's more than one way to do it. You see, you got airflow here. You got a big rock piled up, so the air coming across the ground hits that, and partially is forced down in to feed a oxygen-rich environment to the fire, so it burns more of the smoke, so you have less smoke coming up. And if you do it near trees and stuff where the smoke goes up through the trees, it disperses the smoke a little bit better too that way too. Yeah. I'm going to drop that down.
My wife went to bed, shut the door on the deck, and locked it. Yeah. Thanks, honey. Now the dog can't get at me.
Yeah, so there are you talk about cooking fires and stuff, different ways of doing it. If you're doing this at home, you get something here for you. See if I find here. I'm gonna pull something probably easiest way. Wrong way. Here, wrong field. Now I got one of these for one of these little garden augers. This is a 3.5-inch diameter, and I use it for digging the holes for my little potted plants. I go whoop, 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 go along and just drop them in, and rather than trying to dig it out and stuff. Well, if you have one of these longer, one of these nice long ones, you use that to do your angle down into your vertical. So you angle down into it. Works great. So that way you can do that, and helps find out which way the wind blows. Yeah. Yeah, less smoke keeps the fire. And that's where you do small fires. You don't try to do a big fire. You want to do a fire that'll turn quickly into coals, and you keep adding small sticks and branches to it. So not a whole bunch at once. You're constantly, you're going to be constantly feeding it, or have someone that's constantly feeding it while the other person's cooking. That way, it's producing hardly any smoke at all. Yeah, there are ways to keep the the smoke and stuff from traveling. Now, when it comes to cooking, some people are not going to like this. Actually, before I go to that one, let me hit the other part first. One way of controlling this odor from cooking is to fix it in foil. You lay out a couple sheets of foil, you put the meat, the onions, potatoes, salt, whatever in there, fold it up, seal it up, airtight, or as airtight as possible. Make sure it's loose enough so it will need to expand a little bit, and it'll vent. And you put that in the coals. Not a smoky fire, not where you got flames. You cook in coals. Flame is for heat, coals are for cooking. And when I say heat, for radiate heat out away from you, and for light. So you cook in the coals. Any smells escaping the foil go into the coals and are burnt. So and then when you open it up, you take it inside to eat. You don't eat. Ooh, I'm going to open this outside here where everybody can smell it. No, once you're done cooking, you take it into the house and you open it up in the house. I got something in my little bug flying around here. Got me. All right. So when you're and there's other ways if you cook in a pot or whatever, you can keep the pot closed. Closed if you're just like simmering in a pot, something where you're not going to be cooking high heat where you got to stir it. If you're cooking like really low heat, you don't have to worry about stirring it. Because it's not going to be sticking because you're doing low heat, and then you take it in the house. One of the things we talked about this last night was using a pressure canner cooker on an open fire or over coals and stuff. If you're doing a pressure cooking, you're not going to get a lot of odor coming off of it as you would if you're doing an open pot. And once you know it's been in there for the allotted time and stuff, you get the hot pads and stuff. You pick that up, you carry it in the house, and you let pressure come down inside the house, and then you open it up.
Just don't drop it.
Just don't drop it. Yeah. Some things when you're cooking it to help limit odors outside, is not using any spices or seasonings on it. Oh, the garlic is going to smell good. The onion's going to smell good. Yeah, it's going to smell good, all right. It's going to not. It's going to not. I mean, it's going to make it taste good, but it's also going to smell and it's going to travel. So
a bland food diet
out when you're cooking it. However, if it's nice and hot and you take it inside, you can sprinkle a little salt, a little pepper, a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, whatever on it. The ketchup and mustard, which do not need to be refrigerated, folks. They're loaded with vinegar. You can put some of those on it. If you have a good vinegar-based barbecue sauce, you don't need to refrigerate it. And so you can season up your food indoors. Yes, that works. You can reheat it.
Yep.
In a pot of water. And one of the things to do it, and it can be a big pot, but if you have a pot and you have it has like a 8-inch, 9-inch bottom on it, get an 8-inch or 9-inch cake cooling rack. One of the round racks. You drop it in there, and the bottles are sitting on that, not down on the bottom of the jars are sitting on that, not on the bottom of the pot. So the heat is coming through the water, not from that. And then of course, you open it up first a little bit, crack it just a little bit so it vents off a little bit. So you don't want to have air circulating across the open jar, lifting the smell out.
If you don't have a cooling rack and you just have a pot, grab a towel, a rag, cloth. You just got to make sure you put your jars on it to hold it down. That insulates your jars from having direct contact with the metal, which will shatter a jar in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because the jar will heat up faster than the side of the jar will heat up faster touching the pan than the side of the jar touching the food. So you can have a disproportionate expansion of material, and it's going to go crack.
Yeah, then you're eating glass food soup.
Yeah. All right. Hang on. I got to get something else up over here. Take that down. Get this up. Get ready for it here. I'm going to drop a link here in a minute, folks. Yeah. There it is. So, this is Cold War Preppers topic tonight, and the link for his, which starts immediately after mine. So there it is, folks. You can open in a separate tab, and we can slide right on over there. And it looks like Aussie Life has already commented over there.
Hey Lee, if you're still listening, so my name is Mark. I'm listed as Mad Chick Acres and also as Chef Tech 86. So you might see both of me making comments because I like to double up on your channel too to give you the extra stuff. But that's me.
Yeah. And the Mad Chick is, I'm not going to spell out the whole thing, but basically it's two people's name who's very close to Mark. And,
Acres. I bought Acres with it, and Chef Tech is me. I was a chef and a master tech, and I graduated a certain area in 1986. So that's where that came from. Yeah. I've had that for 12 years on YouTube. Nobody else.
All right, Howie. See you later.
Earthlings. I love everybody on here. It's so cool.
Yeah, boil in a bag. Yes, and it's at Scout Camp. Specifically the National Youth Leadership Training Camps. We would have the quartermaster staff would fix most of the meals in bags and stuff, and for time saving and cleanup for the scouts, because they're there to learn what is being taught on the leadership course. Each patrol will take meals back, and they'll have water boiling, and they cook their chili, their beef stew, their chicken stew, whatever it is. They reheat it, and that way they have less of a cleanup.
Yeah, sous vide is its own. It's boiling raw food, but it's a maintained temperature. It's a science, and it works really well. But you need electric for that. So cook food, put it in a seal meal bag. Did that in Boy Scouts back in the 70s or the 80s. Yep, bring it with boil water. You got spaghetti, meat sauce, everything ready to go. Just mix it up in a pot after you heat it and eat it. You're good.
Yeah, I on Camp Patton Family Compound, I need to start doing some of those on this channel too. I use the seal a meal for a lot of stuff, and I'll buy I'll get like the jumbo packet of pork chops when it's on sale, and I'll throw a couple of them in each one, throw it in there. Well, I don't need to pan fry those. I can put those in boiling water and boil it. Yeah, it's not going to be the best, but it will till it cooks the pork all the way through. No odor while it's cooking, and then I take it out and I bring it in the house, and then I can cook in the house. Now, if you have a fireplace in your house, almost forgot this one. If you have a fireplace in your house, well, I'm just going to build a fire and put pots in the thing. Well, you got to make sure though that you're cooking with. You take that fire and you get it turned to coal. Start small, get coals going, and keep building the coals, adding really dry stuff to it, because that's going up and it's coming out the top. And some people will be going around looking at chimneys or fire or
wood stovepipes,
looking for smoke coming out.
Another thing you see in the wintertime is I can ride around my neighborhood in the morning when I'm leaving, and I can tell who's taking a shower, because you have the vent pipe for your sewer system and there's steam coming out of it because there's hot water going down the drain.
Not only that, the fan vents for the bathroom.
Yep.
Will put off the steam as well. All right. Let's see here. Trying to think if there's anything else I've been missing about odors, smells. Oh, of course, in there is the one we didn't touch. The other hygiene one or sanitation one is putting on the that stuff. Years and years, 37 years or so, the first time I went hunting, one of the guys, I went hunting with a couple of guys from work, but one of them said beforehand, he goes, you take a shower without soap before you get dressed to come, and you use Menon unscented antiperspirant, and you hit not just your pits, you hit the small of your back, because that you will sweat from that area too. You hit down in the private parts as well. And basically the Menon won't put off smell like a lot of the stinky deodorants do. And it also keeps you from sweating to produce more. And one of the things I learned later, those big old bottles of hand sanitizer they started selling in 2020 and 2021. You take those, a squirt of that, rub it around after you get out of the shower. It kills any bacteria left in there, and it's the bacteria that produces the stink, not the sweat glands. The sweat glands produce the liquid, which the bacteria goes, ooh, food, and the bacteria starts multiplying and producing stink. But sweat itself is practically odor-free. It's the bacteria living on your body that when the sweat gets to it, produces. And so using the hand sanitizer with the rubbing alcohol in it works. In some situations, I know some of the guys are using have a little bottle of alcohol, put it on their hands, and they just rub the alcohol around too. Cold, but yeah, effective.
Watch out where you rub that stuff. It could make you a little crazy for a short period of time.
Yes, but you also want to make sure if you've shaved, it's going to be stinging.
Yeah.
All right, here. Let me hear. All right, let me grab this and get this up here and going here. All right, here coming up here. Thursday night, midnight ride here on GrayManPrepping. starts at 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is midnight in Rio de Janeiro and a couple other parts of the world. Friday on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is more chickens. And preppers, you need to think about having chickens. Hey, it's a meat source. It's a protein source for eggs. It's a manure source for your vegetables.
If you live in a neighborhood,
and it eats bugs, and they eat bugs too.
If you live in a neighborhood, check your local codes depending on the county and town, because there's all kinds of laws about distance from the house and all that stuff too.
Yeah. All right. On Rhode Island Reds is one of the breeds that are quieter, especially for the roosters. But roosters, just about all roosters crow. I forget. There's one particular breed that doesn't crow. I can't remember what it is. All right. Saturday back here, we're talking about journals, personal journals, family history journals, cooking journals, known as a cookbook, but also recipe, also a menu thing. Garden journals, activity journals, things going, track stuff, everything down like that. All right. Next Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, favorite things to can. We're still talking about canning food over there. So favorite things to can. And then next Tuesday here, keep your food cool. We're coming into summertime, and we're going to talk about keeping your food stores cool so you don't lose stuff to spoilage. All right. So once again, I'm going to drop the link here to I'm sorry, I just saw don't allow roosters in certain parts of towns.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the link to Cold War Preppers live stream. Starts in 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes. So we're going to wrap this up here. Just want to remind everybody, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicines, clothing. Learn a new skill like how to cook outdoors. And if you can, grow more food, because the food in the grocery store, I'm finding more and more stuff absolutely butt ugly about it. In fact, I'm going to share one thing with you right here real quick if I can find it here. Here we go. Get this open here. I want to make sure I got it fully magnified here. All right. This is for, All right. So puff ingredients. Puff in parentheses is organic cornmeal, flour, lentil flour, fava bean flour, rice flour, organic cricket flour.
How is a cricket organic or not? How is a cricket not organic? Was it a GMO cricket?
It could be a computer lab cricket, but
one of them zombie crickets.
And all right, so these are some cheese puffs, and it's I forget the name of the company right now, but yeah. They're putting it right there, but they put it in there after you see all these flowers and stuff. It's the last flower. And notice they threw organic in front of it to move it further down the line alphabetically. So, all right, everybody. Hope to see you over at Cold War Prepper. And thank you all for coming in. And thank you for your comments in the side chat. And we will see you, hopefully, for some of you, Thursday night for the Midnight Ride. See you around.
And eat more bacon.